was, first of all, he was a very kind soul, a humble guy, very Jesus in spirit, who was a caring, loving, a true person who loves loyalty, and he was just a very humble, kind guy. For all his fame and success, he was very, very kind.
In a lot of ways, you could argue that Michael Jackson was the last and the greatest star of the disco era, oddly enough. He comes out of the 70s, he arises at this moment of kind of crisis within R&B, and he makes music that, like a lot of the greatest disco records, kind of draws from all over the place without being rooted in any particular genre or in any particular place.
He was the greatest superstar that ever lived in some ways, some people would argue. He was a scandal-plagued celebrity, certainly in the last few years. But he was also a normal person.
People that knew him would tell you the same stories, how much of a loving, caring, human being he was, one of a kind.
Michael was a mythical being, larger than life. When you look at the diversity of people that he knew, from cancer patients to the young man Dave that you just met, with the Burns, to movie stars, to moguls and the media, to Middle Eastern people. He was a mythical being. He died a mythical death.
Two months after his death, the King of Pop got his final farewell with a star-studded burial ceremony at the Forest Lawn Cemetery in Glendale, California. While the first guests showed up in the early evening, Michael Jackson's family members were about an hour late. His 3 children were the first to arrive, followed by his parents and siblings. Celebrities like Macaulay Culkin, Elizabeth Taylor, Barry Bonds, and the Reverend Al Sharpton bid their goodbyes. Mourners also signed a book of condolences. A large production light, the type used in filmmaking, and a boom camera hung over the seating area placed in front of the grand marble mausoleum. The equipment raised the possibility the footage would be used for the Jackson documentary, This Is It. Outside, as the mourners drove into the cemetery, fans showed their support.
Just wanted to be here to lay Michael to rest, and, put some closure on it. He's been a part of my life, my whole entire life, and just wanted to lay that part of my life and his life, to rest.
Some with an 80-foot sign.
Michael wasn't just the king of pop, he was the king of music, he was the king of philanthropy, he was the king of love, and he deserves to have people out here respecting him and honoring him.
These young boys were emulating the pop singer's dancing. Glendale, which is home to the Memorial Park, blocked off several main streets and staffed the area to the hilt with police. The Jackson estate helped offset the costs. Jackson will share eternity with the likes of Jean Harlow, W.C. Fields, and Clark Gable, entombed alongside them in a grand marble mausoleum that will be off-limits to adoring fans who might otherwise turn the pop star's grave into a shrine.
It sprawls 300 acres and is home to nearly 250,000 people, all of them dead. This is Forest Lawn Glendale Memorial Park, the King of Pop's final resting place. Far beyond the entrance gates, believed to be the largest wrought iron gates in the world, Michael Jackson's secret crypt. It's inside the Great Mausoleum, in the Memorial Court of Honor, which houses exact reproductions of Michelangelo's greatest works, seen here in pictures obtained by CNN. The mausoleum overlooks majestic rolling hills, its main entrance marked by a Gothic tower more than 100 feet high. Scott Michaels owns dearly departed tours in Los Angeles and has been inside.
What is it like inside that mausoleum?
The Great Mausoleum of Forest Lawn is like a Gothic church almost. It's got You know, when you walk in, it's got enormous ceilings, probably 20 feet tall, big archways, and it goes off into different hallways where the A-listers are, you know, like Gable and Lombard and Jean Harlow and those types of people.
On Forest Lawn's website, pictures of the main attraction at Jackson's mausoleum, the Last Supper window, a life-size stained glass recreation of Leonardo da Vinci's masterpiece. Fitting, since Jackson reportedly once commissioned his own Last Supper painting. It hung over his bed at Neverland Ranch.
From what you can see, nobody will be able to get near Michael Jackson's crypt.
No, not without passing the crypt keeper. I mean, they're very strict about who they allow in. Now that Jackson's going to be in there, there's absolutely no way you're going to be able to wander around there.
Tight security may be one reason why the Jackson family decided to bury the singer here. Every entrance has a buzzer, guards posted throughout. Michael Jackson will be surrounded by celebrities. Celebrity websites say his good friend Sammy Davis Jr. is buried here. So is Clark Gable, Humphrey Bogart, Jimmy Stewart, Nat King Cole, George Burns, Gracie Allen, and Walt Disney, just to name a few.
But if you come here for their graves, good luck. The Memorial Park does not provide a map of the celebrities' graves. In fact, it won't even confirm who's buried here. A spokesman for Forest Lawn told me, quote, "It's inappropriate to market such a thing."
Forest Lawn attracts more than 1 million visitors a year. Even Pope John Paul II toured the grounds during a trip to Los Angeles. No doubt, Michael Jackson's burial here will inspire even more starstruck visitors who refuse to let the King of Pop rest in peace.